Start recording. Somnifuge. Thank you. Always helpful. Always helpful. It's an interesting loading screen. Oh, they're almost choked. The trees. I didn't realize they were trees. I thought that was just like something spiky in a remote location. The fuck? I am a lady, I presume. I can use the TV. Options. Film grain, motion blur off because motion blur sucks. You're not going to show me the... Okay. Inventory is tab. Okay. I guess that's useful. Free us. Dr. F. Dr. F wants me to free them, so I guess we're freeing them. Something is missing. I am not used to indie games having shadows, and that scared the shit out of me. Seeing my own shadow is the scaredest I've gotten this entire 5-game recording session. Good on you, game. Which I don't know why more games don't have shadows. It seems like at this point, like in this day and age, the technology is kind of there. Even like with like a Unity game or something, I feel like that should... Like, I've never programmed in Unity or anything, but I feel like I've played Unity games that have shadows. I feel like that wouldn't be that hard to put in. But then again, maybe that's something that like an indie developer, like that's definitely like a tertiary kind of like something that you kind of want to get like the actual game mechanics working first. April 12th. I'm getting like amnesia flashbacks, and I keep wanting to pick up this and be like, give me some laudanum. I want some laudanum. I actually asked my psychiatrist if I could have some laudanum, and she's like, are you insane? And I'm like, well, it was a thing in a video game, and when you were like stressed out and panicking, you could take it and it would calm you down. This was when we were still trying to figure out my meds for my anxiety, which we figured out. Like I'm on good anxiety meds now. But she goes, when does this game take place? And I'm like, I don't know, like the 1800s or some shit. And she's like, I know. And then she explained to me that that's not exactly something that you can really prescribe. 372-867413464. I just turned my phone on and I was greeted by a bunch of pictures of The Simpsons. And I was like, why the fuck is The Simpsons on my phone? I completely forgot. I just took a little snapshot of that just in case I need it. Can't sprint. Can't jump. 0. Okay. I got a dial. Oh, TV. I know I could go upstairs, but let's yeah. What am I doing? Oh, is there like a limit? This seems like a very fun puzzle. All right, that wasn't actually that hard. Uh, that's pretty much how I sit down in chairs. I just flop down and my legs go flap. Why did I have to tune the TV if it whatever? All right, back to the TV then. Last Supper. Did you maybe look back up at that again? Like could you maybe just like take another quick gander? That's great and all, but just another no, yeah, no, fuck. I didn't get it. 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 I'm not taking the picture at the right time. I'm over here playing Pokemon Snap. Meanwhile, okay. And it's even still on there. I don't even you know. Okay, fine. 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 2839. So 5466 is going to be the code for the dinner combo, which is I guess this, the TV. Wait, what was it? 5466. Yay! All right. That's weird. Oh, okay. Lakada, lakada. Everything is. You know what the sad thing is? That actually happened to me once. If you recall, like two videos ago, what? 2 videos ago, I mentioned about how my basement flooded once, like really high up, because a pipe burst and we didn't know it burst until like one of us like happened to glance down the steps. After it drained, because there is a drainage thing. After it drained and like we were like, you know, doing what cleaning we could. Like 2 years later, I was walking down the steps and I kept saying that some of these steps are water damaged. And then one time I just fucking went straight through fucking one. And I didn't get hurt, but I pretended that I did. And here's why. Because I was mad. I was mad that I had been saying for years that we needed to replace these fucking steps. And both like the landlord and everyone was like, oh no, they're fine. They're still fine. They're still fine. And so when it happened, I started screaming in pain to make everyone panic. And then I looked up, I'm like, I'm actually fine, but now do you think you need to fix these steps? And in my defense, they fixed them. they definitely fixed them after that. I don't know what a Goomba was doing down there. Oh, this is from the. I guess you changed what was up there. Oh, this is from the video we watched. Yeah, let's go further down. Well, this didn't do anything. Although I'm very concerned. I've noticed that both times that I've unlocked the door, it's led to something that I could have easily just got back to within like a few seconds. And I'm worried that means that there's going to be stuff chasing me, and having these doors unlocked is going to be ways for me to get away. Fucker. You know, not like, granted, earlier when I got scared, that was my own stupidity. Oh, how did I get turned around? But not very often do you see anything like in horror use shadows. Like it's very underutilized. Like I remember when I put that part in my first Amnesia custom story, which was a complete accident. The only if you remember that part where you're climbing that ladder and then you see the shadow of something walking along the wall, that was actually a complete accident, because what happened was I was learning how to get enemies to walk, because it's not as easy. Like you can plop them down, and then when you enter the area, they'll chase you and everything. But there's a system where you have to put flags down so they know like if you don't do this, then they'll just run into like walls and like they don't like you need to pathfind for them. Um which is actually kind of good because it makes it so that you can like pick areas that they're not allowed to go and stuff. Um, so I was learning how to do the pathfinding, and like I set it up to have one walk from point A to point B, and then I happened to have a light on a point because there's three types of lights in Amnesia. There's pointed lights that like are actually like spotlights. There's ambient lights that are just that make a glow in a certain area, and then there's box lights, which the only thing you use a box light for is if you want to make like a certain like the entire area, like an entire room, a specific light. Um, but I had a pointed light on and I noticed that he cast a shadow, and I'm like, ooh, that would be spooky to see that shadow going across. So that just happened. You know? Just happened. Wait a minute. Hold on. Was this always like this? With the double uh dining rooms? This has a car on it. This is where I came from before. Although I didn't finish exploring this area. Oh no, that's where I came up from. Alright, want to explain to me what's up with this backroom shit? Is burnt spaghetti gonna get me? That's what I call the monster from the first backrooms video. I just call him burnt spaghetti. Okay. God damn it. I don't even know what that fucking stone is for. So there was no point to any of this. No, there was no point to any of this. Although there was that like indented area back there where like it dipped in a little. So I'm thinking that might be like a doorway you can open at some point. I'm thinking. All right, the door is locked off on both sides. I I regret my actions. Let me go to the other dining room. And I think that'll finally clear up if this is like a weird loop thing. I don't... All right, all right. Getting fucky with me. Getting fucky with me. This is, you know, this is my thing, right? I fucking pioneered this shit. I was doing fucking changing hallways and shit before even PT did it. All right, I pioneered this shit. I actually was one of the first developers of anything that I've like that I'm aware of that really played into the concept of like things changing when you go in and out of rooms. And then like a year later PT came out and it felt really cool, honestly. Like like I know there's some people that might like in that situation feel jealous that like, oh, they did something I did, look how successful they are, blah blah blah. No, for me it just felt so cool to know that like I know this sounds arrogant, but like to almost be like I was on the same wavelength as someone like Kojima. um and granted there's actually a video uh called My House Tour, that's like considered like one of the oldest analog horrors ever made before analog horror was even a thing. um and that was like big inspiration. I think he even mentioned it in a interview. I'm not sure if he did, but there's things in that video. In fact, if this doesn't take too much longer, I might actually just bring up that video and do a live reaction to it just for shits and giggles. Oh, yay. Beneath the rafters, a light takes root after the narrative to find the root. Okay. I feel like rhyming root with root and just spelling it different is kind of lazy. Sure. Um, of course, I don't know if that video is like has any like copyright to it. I don't think it does because I've seen people do reactions. Oh, this is where fucker was walking. I don't want to be walking where fucker was walking. Isn't the entrance? Okay, let's go down and watch the other tape. Let's get out the camera. Just in case. What is this fucking golem? This video within this indie game is actually a better golem simulator than the golem game. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. All right, so we know that the key is down isn't this thing I walked over? No, because as I walked over it, it was a more wide open area. So this isn't the same grate. I don't think so anyway. Hello. We have the same haircut. How very lovely. Hello. Stone. I stone you. All right. Oh, I recognize that. I will say it's like it's decent game like level design that like I don't feel lost. Like it's kind of intuitively built of like what like loops back on what. But I gotta say, wait a minute. Excuse me? Was there something fucky that I missed? I think I missed something fucky in my reflection. When I'm done, I'll bring up the video and get to that part and like freeze frame it. Okay, hold on. Can I watch that again? You can only watch each one once. That's great. That's great. Wait a minute. Wait. X marks the spot, bitch. Eight, 3, 3, 7. No? No? Hold on. What does it say? Beneath the rafters, a light takes root after the narrative to find. I mean, that's what it is, right? It's clearly 8, 3, 3, 7. Right? Because if I move it over by even one, there's not enough room. Same on this side. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's in order. 7, 3, 8, 3. Maybe it's like in I was just going left to right. 3, 8, 3. No? Alter the narrative to find the root. I have no idea what the fuck you mean by alter. Wait a minute. There's a back to it. I'm an idiot. Okay. 4, 4, 9, 4, 3. All right. Okay. Am I stupid? I mean, that's a given, but... Oh, wait, that's the wrong door. The triangle door's upstairs. I just thought that was the right one because it was square shaped. And there's a little squares I'm looking through. So 4943. That's up. That's the one right up here. No, I went that way. Yay! Ah! Convenient, I suppose. I think I'm going this way. Oh! Was I supposed to do something? Oh, fuck. For a second, I thought I was maybe supposed to do something with that one that was just like shaped different. Yeah. Fuck you. I wouldn't be so mad if that wasn't so goddamn good. Like I'm gonna say yes, clearly that was the best of everything I've played tonight. Granted, it was the only one that was like a demo for something that's actually coming to Steam and they're going to be charging money for it. So obviously, if they're going to be charging money for it, which I do recognize that on itch.io, you can pay for games. I do know that's a thing. You can like support the developers and stuff. But obviously, if this is like going to be a demo of like, I knew it was a demo because it says it in the name. But like, obviously, if it's going to be a demo of something that like they're going to put on Steam and say, "Hey, give us money," then it needs to be good. But wow, and what a perfect way to end my night of horror gaming. 5 games that I wasn't gonna do like all in one sitting, and or all in one video as like I forgot itch.io existed. But now I'm just gonna be. Just expect this going forth. And I even know that back when I first got my gaming PC, I mentioned that I was going to get back into checking out these kind of games. Honestly, I think the reason why I didn't mess much with with itch.io is, if you remember, I mentioned before that times have changed and it's a lot easier for like indie devs to get a game like on Steam. I just kind of figured there wouldn't be much activity on a site like this anymore. I figured people would be like more like, well, I'll release my, even if it's not that good, I'll release my indie game on Steam for 99 cents. I mean, there's some fucking trash on Steam. I like to watch Charlie Moist Critical do his horror bad game nights, and he finds some horror games that are just, which he doesn't find horror games scary anyway, which is fine. Because unlike some people, he's not a dick about it. Like sometimes he'll make a joke like, "Oh, I'm not scared because I'm not a little baby," but like you can tell that he doesn't have like any like sense of superiority towards people that do enjoy find horror games scary. And he screamed like a little girl when a bug crawled on him. So I think we're even on that, because when I see a bug, I pet it. I'm not joking. If I see a bug, I pet it. I pet bugs. In fact, that's going to be the name of this video. I pet bugs. And you're going to have no idea why. Why would he title the video that? But like first off, like I feel kind of like a dick saying this, but this was, other than maybe the one where I had to clean up the crime scene, this was the only one that had like actual game mechanics that actually felt like a video game, which I'm one of the few people that doesn't consider the term walking simulator to be an insult. What my problem with walking simulators, and I've talked about this in an old video, is I don't get why so many of them are so pretentious. It feels almost like they're self-aware, like they're self-conscious, and like they have they realize, well, we don't have any game mechanics, and they feel bad about that. Like they feel bad that they're making a game without any traditional game mechanics. So they try to fill the hole by making the story, because obviously with a walking simulator, you kind of gotta focus on story. So they end up trying to make the story as pretentious as possible. So a lot of walking simulators are trash. But there are some good ones. The Vanishing Ethan Carter, What Remains of Edith Finch. Those are two amazing ones that come to mind. But like a lot of these horror games is really just because I know you could say you could compare it to Outlast, but even Outlast had mechanics. Yeah, it didn't have combat, but it had mechanics for handling, for it had puzzles and stuff. Whereas a lot of horror games, a lot of the ones I played, not tonight because I played a pretty good selection tonight, but a lot of the ones I played are pretty much like that last one I played with the bus stop, where it's just go to this point, trigger this cutscene, go to this point, trigger this scare, go to this point, trigger this scare, guy's now chasing you, run away, get to this point, trigger this cutscene. But this had mechanics that and oh my god, the thing, I'm sure it's not the only game that's ever done that, but as soon as I saw those sheets, I knew that I was in for something. And I know there's this one game I played years ago called Close Your Eyes or something, where there was a whole thing. If you remember, it's the one where at the beginning you're going into this sleep study or some shit. But I think if I can't remember if it's when your eyes are open or when your eyes are closed. I think it's when your eyes are closed, you're safe, but obviously you can't see anything. So you have to open them. And when they're open, the enemies can see you and they come at you, but you have to open them just long enough to get get a lay of the land, and if you walk into one of them while your eyes are closed, you still die, so you gotta still be careful. That was a good game. But this, having it be out of your control, and like it made you paranoid to get close, and we're like, is it gonna flicker? Is it gonna flicker? That was one of the most terrifying fucking experiences I've had in a horror game in a long time. I am going to definitely be putting this on my wish list. How do I get out of the game? How do I get out of the game? How do I get out of the game? How do we get out of the game? You're just gonna have to Alt F for that? I guess. I guess that's my one complaint, that it wouldn't let me exit the fucking game. But hold on, let me turn my display capture off, because I need to, because if I don't do this now, I'll forget about it. I'm gonna look that up. Somnifuge. Wait a minute. 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 It's already out? It came out like 5 days ago? It came out 5 days ago. Okay, I'm not watching any more of this trailer because I don't want anything spoiled on me. I'm gonna wishlist that. It's $9.99. I don't have any money right now, because it's near the end of the month and I'm on a fixed income. But I am expect a full playthrough of this around March 1st. I am definitely getting this fucking game. Holy shit. It says 2 user reviews. There's wine all over my monitor. That's I guess, okay. I'm looking forward to seeing what led to someone saying that. Let me close Steam. Okay, I'm gonna mute this for the ad. Which I know that seems weird to mute it for an ad. Like, why do I care? But I got a weird feeling like there might be because ads can, they can license music and shit. I've seen YouTube ads that have like, famous music in it. It's like they can like license shit and put it in their ad. But then if I then have that in my video of the ad, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, display capture back on. If you can see, Markiplier a few years ago did a reaction to this video that I'm getting ready to watch. I had long since seen it because the video is 8 years old. I had long since seen it. Oh, The Rolling Giant. If you haven't seen The Rolling Giant, check it out. The Oldest View is amazing. Anything Kane Pixels does is fucking amazing. Check it out. And somehow, I guess this guy just doesn't sleep. He's working on a new series, and then he just drops a new Backrooms video like, hey, guess what? Backrooms is back. And it was a good video. The new Backrooms was great. But anyway, I would almost say that might be interesting to like, make doing like reaction content a part of this channel, But the thing is, I don't like my feelings on React content is it's only okay if there's something being added. Like you got the Sniper Wolf shit where the fucking bimbo just sits there the whole video every now and then saying, "Wow, oh my gosh." No, but you got other stuff that like Moist Critical when he reacts to stuff, he actually talks about it, talks to chat. And then you got stuff like Wendigoon and Nightmind that actually dissect things. I don't think I would if I watched. I'm watching this one just because like I ended up bringing it up and like I'm nostalgic for it because it's like really old. It's one of the first like one of the first like scary YouTube videos I ever saw. Like not counting like generic screamers, like actually scary. So that's why I'm gonna watch it just as like a bonus to this video. Um, but beyond that, I don't think I have what it takes to really add anything to it other than just maybe pausing once in a while and saying, "Oh, I think in this this is doing this," and like I can I'll leave it to Iceberg Boy to dissect shit, but we are going to watch this. Now, the sound of the wind woke me up in the middle of the night. This is in Japanese, but it is translated. A typhoon is in Japan. This is my room. The tatami mats are terribly damaged. Tonight, I want to introduce my house. And you're probably thinking this looks like a creepy house. Looks like a pretty creepy house, doesn't it? This is the longest hallway in my house. You're probably thinking this looks like a creepy house. Just fucking wait. This is the Hina doll room. And that line, "This is the longest hallway in my house," oh boy. This is Altar and Ancestors. This is a picture from around the time of World War II. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there's another hallway. Right room is doll room. I'm reading these out loud so you can focus on the visuals. This room was closed up by my grandfather. That way you can just listen to me narrate. You can just pay attention to what's on the screen. This is a picture of my mother when she was a child. This is my great-grandmother. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is the bathroom. I hear a sutra. My grandfather is always listening to sutra from the radio. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. This is the longest hallway in my house. A typhoon is in Japan. This is my room. The tatami mats are terribly damaged. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. This is a picture from around the time of World War II. Left room is dress room. This room was closed up by my grandfather. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is the longest hallway in my house. This is my grandmother's bedroom. This room was closed up by my grandfather. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. The roof leaks. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is bathroom. The ceiling has rotten and fallen away. There are rats' nests above the ceiling. This is the longest hallway in my house. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. This room is dress room. There are a lot of dress of my grandmother. My grandmother is not here. The holes eaten by insects have turned black like bloodstains. This is my grandmother's mannequin. This is doll room. There are various types of dolls. The tatami mats are terribly damaged. This doll has been left there for decades. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. This is my great-grandmother and grandfather. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. This is a picture of my mother when she was a child. My grandfather is always listening to suture from the radio. This is my great-grandmother. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is the longest hallway in my house. This is Hina doll room. No one has been in this room for a very long time. These dolls are rotten. Empress doll is rotten too. My grandmother is not here. This is altar and ancestors. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is the longest hallway in my house. This is grandmother's bedroom. This room has no taste. This is grandmother's shoes. Grandmother is here. The ceiling has rotten and fallen away. There are many mouse turd. My grandfather is not here. I hear a sutra. My grandfather is always listening to sutra from the radio. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. This is a picture from around the time of World War II. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is bathroom. The ceiling has rotten and fallen away. My grandfather is here. The wall peels off from the ceiling when it rains. When I open this Fusuma sliding door, there is another hallway. I hear a sutra. My grandfather is always listening to sutra from the radio. When I turn left at the end, there is another hallway. This is the longest hallway in my house. The sound of the wind woke me up in the middle of the night. A typhoon is in Japan. The ceiling has rotten and fallen away. There are rats' nests above the ceiling. The holes eaten by insects have turned black like bloodstains. No one has been in this room for a very long time. This is my room. A typhoon is in Japan. The tatami mats are terribly damaged. Sweet dreams.
I hit the Tacoma Club.
Shut up, bitch. Look, I'm sorry if I didn't add anything. I was trying to, because I've seen the video, so I know where it goes. I was trying to do a thing where like my narration was intentionally like just goofy, and like I was just like reading it really quick just to get it out of the way at the beginning, and then making it creepier as I went along. I don't know if I succeeded. I got headphones on with noise cancellation, so I can't hear my own fucking voice. I really needed to find that fucking cord so I can have the pass through so I can fucking hear myself. But I still remember the first time I ever saw that video a long time ago. I think me and Anna watched it together, and we were fucking terrified because we didn't realize at first that like obviously like these days I think it's almost impossible to get away with putting out a piece of media that is horror but doesn't advertise itself as horror and tricking people. I think people are like, it's been done so much that at the first whiff of something, people kind of guess something's going on. I remember when we found that video, I can't remember how we found it, but we came across it. We legitimately thought it was just someone, showing, and we both love Japanese culture, so we were like, oh cool, a tour of a little Japanese house. I'd love to see that. And like, look, I honestly can't remember if I ever read anything, any interviews or anything mentioning this being any kind of inspiration for PT. But if you take the looping hallway, the fucking bathroom with the fucking doll in the sink, there's no way. I'm sorry, but there is no reality in which Kojima, or at least someone on the team, had not seen that video. And I'm not saying that to lessen how good PT was. PT was amazing. I still play it to this day because luckily I have a PS4 that's still got it loaded on it. So I still every now and then load it up and play it. And then I cry. Which it's fine because once he's done fucking around with Death Stranding, I imagine that Kojima like wants to distance himself from horror for now, just because of what he went through. But I can't imagine that now that he's like first party at Sony, that he's not going to make some horror game at some point. And here's the thing: if in case you don't know, this was one of the last announcements that happened before the. In fact, I think this actually came out after the cancellation. But Junji Ito was doing the monster design for Silent Hills. Just think about that. There is an IP that Sony owns that is a horror IP that has some weird, funky mechanics that I bet Kojima could do some weird shit with, and whose enemy design is right up the fucking alley of Junji Ito. And that series is Forbidden Siren. I would not at all be surprised if they announced he was working on a new game in the series. And I've still never played Siren 2. I plan to now that I got a good PC. Like there's a lot, I have a lot of plans, a lot of things that I'm going to do gaming wise. And emulating some older games is definitely one of them. And look, I know there's a whole like ethical, legal thing, but like I'm just gonna say when a game is out of print and the only way to play it's like I am going to make a rule. I'm going to make a rule when I start emulating PS2, and if I can get a emulator working well enough PS3 games to play some horror games, I am going to make a rule that if in any way it's available on the PlayStation Store, I'll buy it and play it that way. If it's available as a classic or remaster, I will buy it and play it that way. If it's not available that way, I'm emulating. And I never played Siren 2 because it didn't come out in America. And I don't know why it didn't come out with America. The one that they never gave like much of a reason. One prevailing theory that I saw a lot of people spreading was that there's a part in it where you play as a little girl that can get killed if if you get caught by enemies. But when they put out Siren Blood Curse, you play as a little girl. And I think even in the original Siren, you do as at one point. And all they did to get around it was instead of getting actually attacked, the Shibito would holy fuck, I can't believe I actually remembered off the top of my head what the enemy's names in that was. It's been so long since I played it. They would just get up close to her and she would get down and start crying, and then you'd get a game over. So maybe it just was that it didn't sell well, but like it's still in English, so I can get and play Siren 2, and that's definitely a game that I want to play. Now, as to the video we just watched, like there's theories about what's going on in that video. The theory that I go with, the theory that I think is correct, is that what the character that we're witnessing is a ghost. If you remember, it starts by saying that there's a typhoon in Japan. I think that that typhoon hit the house and flooded it, destroyed it, whatever, they died. And now, but I think that the house wasn't fully destroyed, and that but it was abandoned. And there are a lot of places like that in Japan, and not just Japan. Like, I don't know why I single out Japan. There's places all over the world. I see places around here that have just been basically abandoned. I mean, urban exploration wouldn't be a thing if abandoned places didn't exist. But I think that what happened was after they died, for whatever reason, ownership or something, like they just didn't, like they abandoned it. And what I think we're seeing is the ghost roaming the halls of his house, and in his head he's giving a house tour. He's got a camera, and he's like, maybe that was something he was doing literally when it hit and when he died. And and terrifyingly, maybe he doesn't even realize that he's dead. But I think that the reason why we see the house decay over time is that we're literally seeing years and years go by, and this house is just decaying and decaying because it's just a water damaged house that's just been left to rot. And the decay is realistically what it would look like over time, especially like when it, like, you know, not just the typhoon. He also says when it rains, the walls peel. And I think over the course of that video, we're seeing dozens of years of, or at least like 10 or so years, some amount of years of slow water damage. And you probably, like watching it, you probably was able to figure out the camera trick that when he opened the Fusuma sliding door, it got the camera really close to that and opened it in kind of like a fast way. That was when he did the cut to go through the hall again. And I know that because I've seen the behind the scenes video, and the behind the scenes video is actually great. It's funny because it's like got some like happy J-pop anime music playing in the background, but like it's showing how they, like, the process that this person went through to make the house look that way is insane. Like, for instance, when you saw the part where it said grandmother is here and you saw like the rotten body on the bed, what that was is he put a mannequin under the bed and he took pieces of paper, and I think they were like that, like kind of thin origami type paper, like they were kind of like vellum paper, I think it's called. And he had this spray bottle that had like kind of like a red dye in it, and he would put the piece of paper on it and then spray it down, get it all wet, and then he would just do that with hundreds of sheets of paper, and that's how he made like those parts. Like there was one part with the doll room where eventually all the dolls were covered in it. That's how the person did it. And they've got a couple other videos on their channel that are also kind of spooky. And like there is a, I did go down the rabbit hole once, but it's been a while, so I don't remember much of it. But like this, a lot of the stories are connected. Um, but I should just give me a second real quick. Actually, I'm not gonna bother. I was gonna bring it up and show you the channel name, but like when it was on the screen, you could see it. You can rewind, and at worst, you can type in "my house tour scary," and you'll find it. It'll be the first video. Um, you know, if you like that, check out more from the creator. Uh, I mentioned that doing reactions to horror stuff is not really something that I think that I'd ever do because I don't think I could add something to it. But one way that I think I might would be able to do it in a way that I'd like is to have like a night of it where I pick out a bunch of at first it'd probably be ones that I've already seen, but I'd eventually, you know, probably venture out into stuff I haven't seen. But I'd pick like some analog horrors and just watch the first episode of each, you know? Maybe the second, because like there, like for instance with Greylock, it's really the second episode that hooks you. The first is just some setup, but maybe just watching like first episodes of them and like, you know, showing a little bit of like, I like this one, I like this one, I like this one, but like not like just taking the whole of the content. That way, if you see me watch it and like you're like, okay, that one looked cool, I'm gonna go check that out. I might do that some night. I might actually do a night where I make a list of analog horrors that I like, and I just watch like the first one or two videos of them. I actually literally just hold on. I keep turning off my display capture because when I open uh Firefox, it takes me to the home screen where you can see like uh hey, where is this? It should be in my history. You can see like my search history and stuff, and it's not like there's like necessarily stuff in there that like I'd freak out about people seeing, but like some of it is personal that I wouldn't want people seeing for like, you know, just personal reasons. Where is that? Here it is. Nope, that's the webcam. Display capture. This channel, Beckett Wagner. Uh, I watched this literally 2 nights ago because Nightmind put out a video on it. If you and just so you know, Nightmind is a channel kind of like Wendigoon that does like deep dives into like these analog horror projects. I'm really appreciative of those channels because they're good for like finding things you may have missed, because like being vigilant and trying to find like good horror on here, one, it's easy to miss stuff, and two, it's easy to find stuff that you end up wasting your time because it sucks. um but this Beckett Wagner, go to that channel and watch these videos in order. There's a playlist. School Rumors. I'm not going to tell you anything about what it's about, but I just watched it 2 nights ago and it was really fucking good. It's the I'd say it's other than what I just reacted to, which doesn't count since I've already seen it. This is the most recent horror thing that I've watched, and it was fucking phenomenal. And he's got another video called Snow Day, which I haven't watched yet. Which want to watch it? If I get a copyright thing, if I get a complaint, I could always YouTube has a thing where you can edit things out of videos. So I can put this right at the end and then just chop it off. So if the video ends now, it means that I got a complaint or a copyright thing for watching this. But it is a new series. uploaded literally a day ago. That's the reason, even though the ending to the School Rumors was a month ago, Nightmind's video came out a couple days ago. And what I usually do is I watch a Nightmind video and like I'll watch the first like few minutes as he's like kind of introducing it. And Nightmind does really well. He is really good at this. Wendigoon does the same thing, but Nightmind is really good at showing you just enough to get you hooked and then stopping and saying, go to the channel, watch the content, support the creators, then come back here and we'll talk about it. But you know what? I'm gonna watch Snow Day. I'm gonna see what the fuck this is.
It's a snow day today. I just ran back to our room to get my camera because I found the craziest friggin' thing. I was on a walk earlier.
And if you,
Like,
this is me watching something new that I haven't seen before.
On the trails by the
If
athletics fields, you can see
anyone finds this interesting, me reacting to this stuff, then maybe I'm wrong and people would want to see me react to this. So maybe I would watch some more of this stuff.
And
yeah.
You can see the sign for the athletics field. You can see the actual soccer field there.
Yeah.
So when I walk around this corner on this trail here, just like this direct like path of snow, it's
one thing about
snowing lately.
One thing about like being someone that's been watching horror movies since I was little is, and this is a blessing and a curse, because it's a blessing because it's like cool to know, but it's also a curse because it kind of ruins things. But like I know a lot of the tricks of the trade, and so like I knew that the back rooms was CG before I actually read a confirmation that it was done in CG, because I could just, like, you know that old meme, this is a Photoshop, I can tell by the pixels and haven't seen a few shops in my time. It was kind of like that. Like I kind of noticed like little weirdness with some of like the way parts looked. I'm like, is some of this CG? And then by the end of the first Backrooms video, I was like certain it was, because obviously the monster is. Well, technically, I guess the monster in the Backrooms, the first Backrooms monster, could have been like a stop motion actual thing. But like once I saw like how like all this stuff, like the that one part in the Backrooms where in the first video where he gets to the edge of that walkway and it's like a gap to the other side, but there's like endless copies of that. Oh, that fucks me up. And like another thing like is like I can tell sometimes when someone's gonna die in a horror movie just by how the camera is angled. I know that might sound weird, but if you know a lot about the rule of thirds and whatnot, you can tell in a horror movie if something's about to happen to someone, because they'll have a wide angle camera shot with like a lot of their torso. And if you notice, if you pay attention, in a lot of movies you don't see full body shots that often. It's generally closer up shots. So when it's like a wide shot all of a sudden of the character facing on, chances are they're about to get hit by a car or something, and more often than not, I'm right. But the only reason I brought that up is because like I'm like kind of like looking to see if there's any like, because like the I'm not going to spoil anything, but I don't think any CG was used in the School Rumors series, so
nothing happens. But watch what happens when I get a bit closer to the fence. All right, I'm by the fence now. Just watch. And there, look. I came out of there. I went down there. I walked around that corner and came out there. That whole half of the field on the other side of this fence, I skipped over. came out there when I went through there.
I mean, obviously,
That corner.
like, I will say, like, and this isn't a complaint, like, with, like, something like Kane Pixels, they use, like, a low resolution and the shaky cam and stuff, to mask, the CG stuff and to mask, like, cuts and stuff. Like, for instance, that video we watched earlier, the Fusuma sliding door, it being close up and being really fast was how they were able to do that cut. Obviously, using like some glitch effects is another way of doing a cut. Nothing wrong with that. I just want to say that, like, I do prefer it when it's done in a way where you can't notice it as easily, but you don't have to make everything like if you need to trust your audience to be capable of suspending some disbelief. You know what I mean? If you can't trust your audience to suspend a little disbelief, then what are you doing? It means that you don't trust your audience and you don't respect your audience because they know it's not real. I don't think that anyone before, like, or after, like, maybe 2013 has ever found some YouTube video of something creepy going on and thought, oh my God, this is real. This is really happening. And no, there's videos of shit happening that is real. And there's still people like fake. So, like, we know that it's not real. We know it's a series you're making. So trust us to suspend our disbelief. If there's a part where the CG isn't perfect, if there's a part where the acting isn't perfect, like, I will say my main complaint, if I have any complaint about the School Rumor series, it's that every character is played by the same guy, I think. And he talks the same way, a lot of the same mannerisms. But I think even he realized that that was an issue, so he kind of changed it up. Like, there was one character later on that had like a very dude bro kind of way of talking. So I think he realized that that was an issue. So using like a glitch effect to do that, nothing wrong with that. Prefer other methods, but totally cool. And I am interested. We're 1 minute in, and I'm already interested on what the fuck is happening here.
Far from the fence. But when I get close to the fence, again.
And a way that we suspend our disbelief is that, like, okay, whatever supernatural thing is happening is just screwing with the camera. And that's all we have to think. Like, he's not seeing that. Like he's not seeing freezes and glitches. It's just whatever supernatural thing is happening here. Well, I say supernatural, it could be like, you know, like, I think the back rooms isn't actually technically supernatural because it was created scientifically. Sorry to spoil it. Is kind of a revelation that comes a little ways in. But yeah, Backrooms is old. If you haven't seen it by now, go fuck yourself. Like, it would take, you'd have to be a dick, a complete dick, which I am, to watch this and be like, okay, like, how is he not noticing that it's glitching each time? Like I can see where they're doing the cut. It's like, yeah, of course, that's how they're editing the video. It's an independent student filmmaker guy. Like, or I say student filmmaker. I don't know how old he is. I know Kane Pixels is only like 21, which, honestly, the fact that people like Kane Pixels and Alex Kister are so young and they've created so like much makes me feel like I should just give up. Like, I shouldn't even fucking try. I'm 38. What the fuck am I going to contribute at this point? But I am going to give it my all with Vantage, with my Vantage project. I'm going to, you know, really try to make that something interesting. But anyway, subtle plug, Vantage OS, all one word. Look it up. It's a analog horror series that I started. It's only got one video, but I'm currently working on the next one. But yeah, like when he goes through, he's just like warping in time. And what we're seeing on the camera is just like the either supernatural or weird pseudoscientific effect of what's happening affecting the camera. You can suspend your disbelief easily on that. And I'm just saying, like, I can be a dick sometimes, but like if you can't suspend your disbelief on that, and like if the fact that the camera is glitching and like the fact that you know that that's being used to do the cut, if that ruins it for you, then fine, go watch some fucking Nicki Minaj video or some shit. Sorry, I tried to pick like some crappy fucking pop singer that I can't stand. There's a lot of them. Most of them actually. Nothing against her personally. I despise that genre of music. But yeah.
I want to try something. What happens when I stick it around? Nothing. Still see the fucking other side on the display. I'm seeing that.
What if you do it backwards?
Go around the corner.
What if you step in backwards and have it pointing at you as you're going through? That would be interesting.
Stress this enough. I take 2 steps around the corner that way. Like, literally 2 steps. And end up here somehow.
Like, obviously that would require, like having an actor and like maybe like this might just be one person working on this alone, and maybe he doesn't want to show his face, and that's fine. But it would be interesting to like to see it from. But it does look like it's doing some. Oh, go back and see if you could find it.
See that?
No, run back
Stick. Clean it out.
and see if you could find the other piece.
Look how clean that is.
This is actually reminding me of the Stairs in the Woods. If you haven't read about the Stairs in the Woods, it's a Reddit thing. I can't remember what, I think it's on No Sleep or something. It's actually part of a larger series about being a park ranger and like discovering weird things. But specifically the Stairs in the Woods. I think actually the Stairs in the Woods was one of the very first Creepcast episodes. So that's a good place to go to check it out. I'm not going to spoil why, but that kind of reminds me of that.
That's insane. So, we go for it again. It's this long. Let's stick it
All right.
way on the corner. I pull back. Look. Again, with the really clean cut.
You know,
I think my camera's timer just reset. It says I'm only recording for like 21 seconds.
another thing that like if you've been watching horror, this is something you've dealt with all your life. This is just a horror thing. Is why would you do this? Like in any situation, if I stuck that and been like, okay, it can cut it off. What if it cuts me off? Fuck this shit. I'm going home. Like any sane person would be like that. But you gotta always remember, then you wouldn't have a horror movie. And yeah, sometimes there are more plausible explanations for why the characters do stuff, and it's always nice when that happens, but it's not needed. Again, suspend your disbelief. People in horror movies make stupid decisions. People in real life make stupid decisions. I've watched a lot of like true crime stuff, and I've seen some dumb fucking decisions made by some criminals. And not just criminals, just like people in general, like I found this channel, Aliarus, I think you pronounce. He has a series called Morbid Reality, and there's some fucked up stuff in there. So,
I just had an idea.
which he has some other series that I've been meaning to check out.
Inside of the solar field. Gates like wide open, pretty much. Look at that. Wait, what? I swear to God, wasn't the snow completely covering the solar panels like a few minutes ago? It's like melting off now. It's fast. Let me go through the fence. And it's not through there. I swear there and not there.
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, it was completely covered.
Go around it, like, right up against the fence. And stress this enough. I take 2 steps.
And you know what? You know something? I think that actually takes like some dedication and foresight, because that means that either one of two things. That means either in between shots he actually went in and got had a long brush thing and scraped some of the snow off, or more likely, because I imagine he probably, unless that place is abandoned, he might not be allowed to like walk into it. He might have just like waited like a day for some of the snow to melt just to record the next part and then incorporate that into the story. Although, and again, this is because of how many behind the scenes things I've watched. I've watched so many movies I've watched with like director's commentary on, and like it can always be the opposite. It can always be like a happy accident, like a thing where he had to stop filming for some reason, like the scheduling, like something for some reason he had to stop filming for that day, and then when he came back, it's like, oh shit, some of the snow has melted. I guess I'll just mention that in the video and make that part of the story. So it could be it could be, and the thing is, neither are bad. Like if it's something that he intentionally put in the story, that's cool. But if it's something that happened and he found a way around it, that is quality filmmaking. Is finding solutions to problems.
Gates like wide open, pretty much. Look at that. Wait, what? I swear to God, wasn't the snow completely covering the solar panels like a few minutes ago? It's like melting off now. It's fast. Let me go through the fence.
Get your ass in there, boy. Let's see what happens.
Hold on. Holy shit. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but it sort of smells like static electricity, if you've ever smelled that.
Yeah.
Like in the air all around the corner.
Yeah, I know what that smells like.
Same corner, same place, different side of the fence.
I was in a I forget what they're called. You know those like big power, not, I don't want to say power plant because that's like nuclear shit. Like those giant like like grid, like I forget what they're called. But where you see like the big metal boxes, and it's like it's like the central hubs for the power grids. I was in one of those once for a school thing a million years ago. And there was a smell in the air, and they actually mentioned that you can actually smell the electricity in the air. So it is a strange sensation.
Whoa. Shit. Fucking hell. Slippery as hell over there. I think I ended up at the softball fields. I think because of that. I've never really been to the softball fields because I don't play softball. But I've had enough.
I'm gonna be honest, I thought he was gonna get like cut open on the fence, like pushed through. Like fucking like when you see them making like meat, like when they're cranking the thing. I was thinking that might happen, but I also realized we were only halfway through the video, so it probably wasn't going to. This is pretty neat
going
too.
Back to main campus. The athletics fields are here. Main campus is in that general direction. Like crazy, or has it gotten darker? I think those right there are the lights from main campus. No, they gotta be because I'm walking across the athletic fields and there's buildings over there. Yeah, that's definitely it.
He's gonna walk into an. I was getting ready to say. I think he's gonna walk. He's gonna walk into like another portal.
To the soccer field, and the football field, and then the main road is right there. There's not this like other road.
Are you in another dimension?
I feel like I'm losing my fucking mind here. I've been coming here for like I'm not like an old student here, but I've been here for a few months. So like, I should know.
I got something to say, but I'll say it at the very end of the video so that you can fuck off if you don't want to hear it.
I haven't been out for very long.
Because it's like a major spoiler for a book.
Ridiculously.
Like I mean like the main spoiler. Like it's like the Bruce Willis being a ghost level of spoiler. So
I really feel like I'm going insane here.
but when I say it, you'll understand why I'm bringing it up.
I've never seen this happen. I found main campus. I swear to God, it looks a little different. I think I should like. I honestly think I like might have hit my head or something.
He's either in another dimension, or he's been transported forward or back in time. Yeah, like they've like rebuilt stuff. Like they've changed. They've made new buildings.
I know this place. Going around the side should take me to the main entrance to the athletic center. Just glad to see a familiar spot. Yeah, first thing I'm going is going straight to the health center because I really did hit my head in practice yesterday and stuff doesn't look right and I've got like brain fog, I think. And I really think I'm like I did some damage. Hold on. This is very clearly a pool. You can see the ladders and stuff there. It's just covered for winter. But I swear to God, to the best of my recollection, we don't have a pool. And this isn't like a detail I'm not sure about.
Oh, you're a time traveler, buddy.
Concrete, we definitely don't have a pool. But that was the hockey rink.
Now that I'm gonna say, if that's what it is, that is I'm not gonna say genius, but that's really good because it's such a subversion of expectations. Because like you're in this, like, okay, it's a teleportation from one point to another. You're thinking like, what's gonna happen to this guy because of the teleportation? You're thinking something physical is gonna happen just of the teleportation. And so you're not thinking in terms of like it might be something other than teleportation.
Every day for the past 2 months, so
like he's getting set forward in
if it
time.
wasn't so
And he did it a few times.
But right now I just want to get to the health center and get help.
I was gonna say, why did it not go so far the first few times? But then I remembered that the last time he did it from the inside. So the closer to the inside you do the loop, like the more the more it like launches you.
Fuck with weird shit. Hello? Is anyone here? Where the fuck is everyone? I know the staircase, but that whole hallway was different than I remember. I need to get the fuck to the nurse's office, dude. Hear that sound? What is that? Closely, listen. I swear to God, I heard that back in the solar field.
You're gonna, boy, you're about to get teleported again.
Where the fuck is it coming from?
Well, don't go towards. Oh yeah, follow the sound. Go ahead.
Maybe there's like another weird thing I can go.
Remember, suspend your disbelief because the dumber they are, the more entertaining it is for us. That's what you got to remember.
It's becoming increasingly apparent to me that this isn't it.
Although I will say in the other series, there were a few moments where a character did something intelligent, and it is satisfying when someone actually thinks about something.
Another fold in space and time.
Yeah, go into it.
That sounds crazy, but this whole fucking thing's been crazy. Please God, take me home.
All right. So I don't know if this is going to be the beginning of a new series because I won't say anything about it in case you want to watch it yourself. But the school rumors, the first one does end in a way where it could be its own standalone thing, and then the further videos builds on it. I can definitely see this being a series. And I can see them really building on like what is going on here. I think what happened at the end there was that he got transported because if you remember, he was pretty high up. He had went up lots of stairs. He got transported either back or forward in time, either back before the building was built or forward to a point where it had been demolished and was gone. And since he was so high up, he fell and died. Damn. Well, take that as a test run. Tell me if me, watching through, obviously, watching through stuff that I've already seen wouldn't be the same. So if I did that, and I am going to do it, that is an idea I had that I decided I'm going to do, is I'm going to make a list of like analog horrors that I like, and I'm just going to watch like the first episodes of each and just be like, okay, I like this because it like does some cool things here and here. Check it out. But if like watching some new ones that I ain't seen before, if me reacting and me pausing and saying shit, if there was any entertainment to be had there, tell me. But please don't like whether this is David watching or someone else, please don't just say, yeah, that was entertaining just to like, make me feel better and make me feel like I didn't waste my time. Because I didn't waste my time. I was watching a new horror thing that I hadn't seen yet, so I was gonna watch it anyway. I would hate for someone to say that, yeah, that was entertaining. You gave good commentary. Just to, like, be nice and, like, not let me down. And then me actually put effort into doing more of that when it's not something that people are liking. So don't say it was worth it if it wasn't. But anyway, I'm getting ready to spoil a major plot point in a book that's one of my favorite books. So, and then right after that, I'm gonna say goodbye and end the video. So, you can fuck off if you don't want to. Uh, I'm gonna say the name of the book, and then that way you can, if it's something you haven't read yet, you can. But I will say that from stuff like the very fact that I was relating it to talking about this, um, will be somewhat of a spoiler. Okay. The book is called The Fold, and it's part of a series. There's actually a third book in the series that I haven't read yet. Um, there's so much that I'm behind on in terms of entertainment, because I went through like a long depression, like a really bad depression funk where I like there was a point where I didn't turn my PS4 on for like 4 months because just like there's this thing called executive dysfunction, and I have it pretty bad. And so, but I'm coming out of that funk, and you know, I'm enjoying things again. But in this book, The Fold, the I'm not gonna like give every single detail, but like basically the main character is sent in to overlook this operation of a group that created a way to teleport, and they have a site A and a site B where they teleport between. Um, and the thing about it is they're being very cagey and very like weird about their technology, and like they're being cagey about giving information, and the higher ups think that it's just because they're worried that once the information is out they'll be fired, and the information like they'll like their discovery will be stolen, which is realistic. That kind of thing does unfortunately actually happen in science. There's tons of things in history where people have taken credit for other people's works. um uh um so but as you progress you realize that the level of paranoia and the level of weirdness that these people are displaying is odd, to the point where they even seem to hate each other, or at least like be very suspicious of each other. And then some weird things start happening, like someone yelling at someone for moving their desk, and like as a prank, but the other guy swears he didn't do it. And I won't go through every single incident that happens that makes you think, okay, something's weird's going on here, because I don't feel like going through all of them, but it culminates in the discovery that they didn't actually create a teleportation device. They created a portal to another dimension. And what's happening is every time they step through, there is one, like there's a bunch of little like moments that where something's off, but the big moment where they realize, okay, something's fucked, is one of the guys is gonna do a test run, and they've done a bunch of test runs while the main character's been there overseeing it. um the one thing I don't like about the book is that the main character has an eidetic memory, which is not a real thing, and I'm really tired of fiction pretending that it is a real thing. There has never been a single scientific proven case of someone having a photographic memory. It does not exist. It's not real. It's pseudoscience. It's science fiction. But that's the reason this guy was chosen, because they knew that he'd be able to remember every single little thing he saw, even down to like things written on notebooks and stuff. That aspect of the story I could have done without, but like I said before, you can suspend your disbelief. But I'm just saying, eidetic memory is not a real thing. It's pseudoscience. There are people that have very good memories. There are definitely people that have insanely good memories. But eidetic memories, which means that like you could watch a movie and then you could close your eyes, or even without closing your eyes, you could pick out any frame of that movie and describe everything that's in it. You could read a book like say you read a book, you could tell people what it's about, like I'm doing right now. But if you have an eidetic memory, you could read a book one time and literally rewrite the book 1-to-1. So while have been documented cases of people having insane memories, like really surprising, shocking abilities to memorize things, um, eidetic memories do not exist. But anyway, there's this part where a character is going to go through the portal as just like a standard test. And then when he comes out the other end, he's like all battered and beaten, and his clothing is torn and his skin is burnt, and he just collapses. And they find that he's highly radioactive. And basically, I forget exactly what happens, like what the exact moment that they realize this is. Um, but two big revelations come around the same time. One of them is that the scientists don't actually know how the portal works. Um, which is one of the reasons why they've been so cagey about it, is because they had been given a big grant to try to make this technology work. They couldn't get it to work, and then one guy found an old book that had some weird formulas in it, and just for shits and giggles, he put the formula into the machine, and it worked. And there's a book that takes place before the Fold called 14, which I actually prefer over the Fold, because the Fold is more science fiction and I prefer more like kind of Lovecraftian, uh like thriller horror. So I like 14 more. But the book was written by the same guy that like was is someone who's, I'm not going to say how because I don't want to spoil too much, but is involved in a certain way in the story of 14. So that's one revelation they come up with. It that's what they're not come up with, but one thing that the character discovers is that they don't actually know how the portal works, and that they've been spending all this time, all these tests, trying to figure out how it works. But the other thing they discover is that it's not actually teleporting people, it's taking people to alternate dimensions. And what's happening is every time someone goes through the portal in some alternate dimension, because like multiverse theory, uh like the thing you got to understand about multiverse theory is that, like, unless you want to get into things like anchor objects and stuff, multiverse theory is portrayed a lot more fun in movies and in fiction than it would actually be. It's usually like some crazy wild difference, but at the same time it's familiar enough that you recognize it. In truth, a multiverse would be, there would be universes, everything from all matter is just globules of energy, and then there would be universes, there would be, if multiverse theory was real, again, unless you want to get into the concept of anchor objects, which is a whole other thing, there would be an infinite number of universes where every single thing about that universe is the same, except for the shirt I'm wearing right now. Every single shirt in existence, there would be a universe where I'm wearing it right now. There'd be every shade of color. So, like, just the shirt alone could have infinite possibilities. So like that's something like about multiverse theory that like is kind of boring. So that's why you don't see people talk about it much and you don't see it like shown in like fiction and stuff. I think the best way that it was shown was in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Um where they did like the slingshot thing by doing an action it and then using the thing it flung you to another universe, and I think I liked that because that explained better why they were going to such divergent universes. But anyway, um and so like the realization, because everyone except for the main character has at some point tested um this machine, has some point went through, which means that every single one of these scientists is not currently in their original dimension. And I think the book does a pretty good job at kind of portraying the kind of sorrow you would feel at knowing that you're not where you belong. You're not, you know, for some people it's widely different. Like there's one character that talks about how sensitive she is about her skin because she has a big scar on her back from a motorcycle wreck she got into. And then in a later scene, I think this is one of the things that like launches them into realizing something is going on. I can't remember if it takes place before or after the scene with the guy that goes through and is all radiated. But in another scene, she's wearing like a halter top with like like an open back, and he's like, "Where are your scars?" She's like, "What are you talking about?" Um, but I think that's a really good book, and I think that like out of everything I've ever read that did anything, not just read anything I've ever watched that did anything with like multiverse stuff, I think that's aside from Everything Everywhere All at Once. I think that might be the best like use of the concept I've ever seen. But anyway, um, it has been 2 hours, so I'll probably title this blank demo plus some bonus stuff. But anyway, I'm gonna stop this. I'm gonna get these videos uploading, and I think I'm gonna kick back and play some Like a Dragon. Uh, that'll do it. Um, this was a nice change of pace as far as recording goes. I miss playing these little indie horror games because what they lack in like the polish of AAA games, there's an earnesty in it that I love. Um, and there's lot of originality. So I had fun tonight. I'm definitely going to be doing more sessions of playing like itch.io indie horror stuff. And I want to play more indie horror stuff on Steam. It's just I don't exactly have the money to buy a bunch of horror games. So, and unfortunately, around Halloween, I had something happen that kind of took up a lot of my money. So hopefully, maybe next Halloween they'll have a big sale. I'll be able to buy a bunch of games cheap. But anyway, that'll do it. Spank you for watching. Spank you for everything. And just spank you because I love you.